So, out of nowhere yesterday, I found myself in this comparison loop between myself and my ex boyfriend's ex girlfriend, which sounds really insane. But it's not about him or even her. She's just the latest screen that this pattern has been projecting on. And the worst part isn't even the comparison, but the voice in me that's judging the comparison, judging how I'm reacting to this situation. Because as someone who's done so much work on herself for so many years and really focused on building self-worth and confidence in that moment, it's so easy to identify with what's coming up, to identify with this pattern instead of staying anchored in the self-worth and the confidence that I have built. Like in that moment, it feels like, oh, all this work and the confident self and the self-worth, it's all fake. The insecurity is truth. This is who you are, which is an illusion, but I'll get into that. And it's interesting for me to recognize that the women I've compared myself to in the past, because this is not a new experience, they're so different. And that's interesting because this particular one, the ex-girlfriend, she's a pretty famous singer. So she lives a pretty glamorous lifestyle, touring, performing. And I've heard from my ex-boyfriend that she has a very main character energy, very confident. And that is something that I don't identify myself as. So, however, in the past, there have been women that I compare myself to that are not this charismatic main character energy type. Some of them are more mysterious and contained and reserved. And I find myself wanting to be like that. So the pattern is whenever I see someone that I project a superiority on or think that they're better in some sense, I then take their cluster of traits and think that I need to be like that. That's what it looks like to be enough. That's what I must have in order to embody confidence and to have love and security and be cherished and all that. And it's very, very interesting because it's not like one set of standards I'm holding myself to. It's whoever I think in the moment has what I want. And in this case, the ex, she represents, these qualities that seem to attract a lot of love and admiration. And of course, she's been significant to my ex-boyfriend. And so all of these factors combined made her, in my mind, this symbol of someone who's enough and someone who has everything. And when I compare myself, I feel lack. I feel threatened. I feel that maybe I am not enough. Maybe I need to take singing lessons. I need to be more bold and outgoing. And it's so hurtful to be stuck in that loop because it becomes this existential question of, am I enough? And it feels like the answer is no. Another interesting thing that I pondered was, I think being Chinese, having lived in China for the first 10 years of my life and growing up in a family who's conditioned by the Chinese culture, I think it's a lot harder for us Chinese people to have this innate sense of confidence and value. Because in China, no one is taught that we have innate value. And no one ever talks about confidence being something that everyone has the right to. In China, everything is based on a condition. You're loved by your parents because you're a good kid, because you get good grades, and you're allowed to be confident if you meet certain conditions, like if you fit the beauty standard, if you have a good job, if you have material abundance and you're this and that. And this is such a strong cultural conditioning that it's beyond just personal insecurity and family dynamics. I'm sure that plays a part into it. But I think this cultural climate and this mindset of you have to earn your place. You're not born being enough and valuable, and you shouldn't be confident unless you have a reason to be. This is such a toxic mindset that's so deeply ingrained in so many Chinese people. So I just wanted to mention that in case if you resonate with that and you have a similar cultural background. But anyways, I want to talk about how I moved through this because I think I've had a huge breakthrough. So the first thing is noticing that I'm turning against myself for having this comparison loop in the first place. What that looks like is frustration, anger towards myself, and this urgency to fix it, to make this go away. And so I was, looking at, okay, what can I do to make this go away? And it's very subtle because this can look like just a normal healing process where, you're sitting down with yourself and you're feeling the feelings, releasing, affirming to yourself the opposite. But all these things carried a hidden agenda of wanting to make this part of me go away, of wanting this feeling to go away. And that doesn't work because what heals this wound of not being enough is unconditional love and unconditional acceptance of yourself. So the more you try to reject yourself and push this part away and heal it away, the more it's going to fight back and resist, and the stronger it's going to get. And frustration and self-judgment really, really keeps you stuck in that loop. So the first thing is getting out of that. Instead of trying to fix it, making it go away, really open up your heart and hold compassion towards this part of yourself and treat yourself like a little baby. Like what I did was I connected to her and I asked her, okay, tell me, what are you feeling right now? And she would say things like, I'm so scared of not being loved. I'm so scared of not being enough. Is she prettier than me? Is she better than me? All of these things. And just allow her to fully express herself and just be with her through it. Telling her, I know that's so hard. I know that's so painful and I feel you and it's okay. I don't need you to be any different, and really, really mean that. So after some time of sitting with her, processing that, I arrived at a calmer place, more peaceful place. And then I got this download. And this download is that no one is above you. And no one is below you either. So it's dismantling this hierarchy. Because comparison is all about hierarchy. You're ranking yourself among other people and trying to either come up on top, or you feel really sad and triggered when you feel like you're on the bottom. And I felt inspired to do this exercise where I asked myself, am I really sure that the people that I put above me are better than me? Take this ex, for example. Is that true that she's better than me? Maybe at singing, but what if I'm better at introspection? What if I'm better at holding space for someone? What if I'm better at working out in the gym? And thinking of these things made me realize I'm looking at such a narrow slice of who she is. I actually don't know her. I don't know her at all. Actually, I don't even know if she's confident. I'm just projecting that assumption onto her based on the few things that I know about her. And I don't know what she struggles with in life. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I don't know what her weaknesses are. I don't know what she battles when she's alone. 3 a.m. in the night, you know? So it really doesn't make sense for me to pick out these things that may or may not even be true and then hold myself to that standard. Like, I'm a whole human being, but I'm comparing that wholeness to a very flattened part of someone else that, again, may or may not be true. And so what I realized with this is that I can't be sure that anyone is better than me because I don't know the whole picture. And the truth is, everyone has things that they're good at, they're skilled at, and then their flaws and weaknesses and things that they're working on or they don't want others to know about. So it's really like comparing apples to bananas. They're just different. They're just different. So I did this exercise where I thought of a couple people that I pedestalized, these top celebrities like Jennie from Blackpink, or someone extremely wealthy and successful like Bill Gates. And I kept repeating to myself, I am not less than them. I'm not any less worthy or lovable or valuable than each of these people. And I kept repeating to myself until I really felt that way in my heart, like, okay, I feel like I'm on the same plane as them. They don't feel so far away or so superior to me. And then, and this is also very important, and then I thought about people that I put myself above, people in my life or people that I know, where I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm better than you. And to keep them in my mind and do the same exercise of telling myself, I'm not better than them. I'm not any more valuable, lovable, or worthy than them. They have strengths that I don't have. They're better at some things than me. I don't know. And so kept doing that until, okay, I really felt in my body like I don't feel superior. I don't feel like I'm above them anymore. We're equal. And this has been so liberating and so powerful to really feel and know that everyone is equal. No one is better than anyone else. It takes away the fake confidence you get from feeling superior to other people, but that's such a trap. As long as you feel like you're better than someone, you're also subjecting yourself to feeling inferior to others. So the solution here is to collapse the comparison, collapse the hierarchy altogether, and just realize the truth that you are all just different. There is no better or worse. It's just different. And instead of comparing myself, I want to focus my energy on cultivating me. What is my soul essence, my unique soul signature, and the frequency that I bring here that is so unique to me, that only I can bring forth to this world. And that is so beautiful. That is so special. So it's about focusing on that. How do I become the fullest version of myself? How do I become the truest expression of that essence? And it's the same for you. You have something so unique that only you can bring forth. You have a medicine that is unique to you. Your way of being, your energy, the way that you speak and carry yourself, the way that you see the world is so unique. No one else can replace that or take that away. So I hope this video is helpful for you to get in touch with the truth of how valuable and enough you are, and how comparison is unnecessary. But it's okay if you catch yourself in a comparison loop, because we're human. This is so human. This has been so conditioned in us. So self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Love on that part of you that is comparing, because she's just a hurt little girl or little boy.